guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm showing you my fake Louis Vuitton bag. Now before I purchased this I did already know that it was a fake bag, and the reason why I purchased one of these is because I did want to do this video so I can show you guys what the quality is like and basically show you how it looks compared to original Louis Vuitton bags. Now I do actually own a few of them myself, so I know exactly what the quality is like. I know exactly how an original bag looks like, and I will be comparing it to my real ones as well, just so you can see what it looks like and see what the difference is. So I decided to do this video a couple of weeks ago because I was seeing on all of the Louis Vuitton Facebook pages that I'm on that people are saying that the quality is getting really bad. I've seen some things on there, I do have to say they don't look very good. So for instance, people have been purchasing the Pochette Matisse and the bit at the front just is going crooked, or it's not straight, or there's glazing issues. And when you think that people spend about £2,000 on a bag like that, it's one of those where you just think, is it really worth it? Now, I luckily haven't had any issues with my real Louis Vuitton bags. I haven't had any glazing issues. I haven't had any problems with canvas or anything like that. But I don't have a massive collection, and I don't use my bags all the time as well. I bring them out every now and again, and I feel like that's probably why I haven't been having issues. But it is looking quite crazy. Honestly, if you're on any of those Louis Vuitton Facebook pages, you'll see that a lot of people are having issues with their bags. And also my friend Amy, she really wants a Louis Vuitton bag, and she's been thinking for ages, oh, I might just get a fake bag. And I know that a lot of you guys are thinking exactly the same when you look at these bags. You're like, why would someone spend that amount of money on it when you can get it for cheaper and it looks exactly the same? And I personally haven't wanted to get a replica or a fake bag, and if I do like a bag and I know that it's very expensive, what I'll do is I'll go on the high street and I'll purchase a bag that's so much cheaper and I know that the quality is really good. So for instance, I'll get things from River Island, ASOS, or from Zara, because I know that the quality is really good. Also Aldo bags are really good as well. So for instance, I have my bowler bag that I had in my latest What's in My Bag video, and that was from Zara, and that was about £17, and that is pretty much exactly the same as the Alma BB from Louis Vuitton. But it's one of those where I didn't really know if I liked the shape or anything like that, so I decided to purchase a cheaper version, and to be honest, it's working out really well. And you don't actually have to spend a lot of money on a bag for it to look good and feel good and be really good quality, because those ones on the high street, honestly, I absolutely love the quality of those. So if you do want to get a bag that's really affordable but looks like an expensive bag, then I definitely recommend going to those. But today I decided I was going to do this video because I've seen a lot of these videos about, and I am really enjoying watching them because I like to see what the difference is with them, because I'm a really nosy person. So if you're new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and also make sure to hit the bell icon just so you're notified every time I upload a new video. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you the bag that I got. So I did purchase this from DHgate and it cost me £54, so I saved a lot of money compared to the original. And this is the bag that I have. So it's a Pochette Matisse, and this is in the reverse. Now I've wanted this bag for such a long time, but it's always sold out, and I've seen, like on the Louis Vuitton Facebook pages, so many issues that people are having with this bag. I've seen loads of videos as well with the original bag. So this is the one that is known for having the glazing issues. So all along the side people are saying it's really sticky and it's coming apart, but this is a bag that I purchased, and I'm going to compare it to my original Louis Vuitton bags because I do have one that is monogram, and I don't actually own the original of this, but I am going to be comparing it to some bags that I do own anyway from Louis Vuitton. And you also get the strap on it as well. So this is also a detachable strap, and you can also make it longer or shorter as well, so you can adjust it with the little thing on the top. So when I was looking on DHgate for a bag to use in this video, I knew that I wanted this bag because I've wanted it for such a long time, and I know that it's a bag that I might get use out of, but like I mentioned, I don't want to have to spend £2,000 and have all of the issues that some people have been having, and it has already been recalled a couple of times, so that is something that does worry me with it, because like I mentioned, it is really expensive and I don't want to have all the issues. And I saved, I think it was about £1,900 roughly on this bag. And when I was scrolling through all of them, I wanted to get a bag that had loads of orders, loads of reviews on there, but for me, reviews, you don't know if on those websites if they are real, because some people, they could be working for the company, or they could be friends and family, or they could have the bag for free, or they get paid to do a really good review. So it's one of those where you sort of have to see if you believe it, because sometimes it can be too good to be true. But honestly, when I got this in and I unwrapped it, I was like, this is really good, and I was pleasantly surprised because I had no idea that it would feel as good as this, because like I mentioned, it was only £50 and I thought that it'd be really thin, it wouldn't look anything like this, but to me this looks really close to the original. Now if you already own the original, or if you have been collecting Louis Vuitton for a long time, then you will know straight away that this is not going to be a real bag, but to me it looks really good. Both of my friends that I showed this to thought that it was real as well, and this is what it looks like close up. So you have the flap on the front right here, and then this is how you open it. So it opens exactly the same as the original, and then it has the reverse on the top there, and then on the back it has the zip as well. So with this, it did come with loads of bubble wrap. It also came with loads of padding inside it. It also came with a dust bag as well, but I can tell straight away that the dust bag isn't real, so that is what it looks like. The quality isn't there, but to be honest, it wasn't an expensive bag, and I'm not worried about dust bags because all of my Michael Kors bags that I purchased, none of them have come with dust bags, and I've just purchased them all from eBay, and I think they're about £4 or something like that, and they tend to work out really well. So I will also compare it to a real Louis Vuitton dust bag, and when you have a real one, you can tell that there is a massive difference with the feel, because these do feel really luxury anyway, and this just, it doesn't feel that good. So this is the difference between them. So this one is obviously the fake one, this one is the real one. So this one is really nice and soft. It's like cloth detail. I'm not too sure if you can see, but it's like cloth detail. It just feels really, really nice and soft. And then this one is quite hard, to be honest. I don't really know what it's made out of, but this is what this one looks like. So you can even see that with the writing, it's not real. And then it's really, really thin on there. And then you can also see that there are some issues with the stitching on it as well. But like I mentioned, I'm not too worried about the dust bag because I'm probably not even going to keep it in the dust bag. I tend to keep my real Louis Vuitton bags in the dust bags and my expensive bags, but to be honest, I don't think I might bother with this one. But yeah, if you do want a dust bag, then you get it with this bag. And the thing to look out for if people are trying to sell you a Louis Vuitton bag and you're not sure if it's real or not, if it comes with this card, it's not real. So when I opened this up and I found it in the bag, I was like, straight away, this is something that will put you off. So this is a Louis Vuitton authenticity card, and if you guys have ever purchased a Louis Vuitton bag that's a real one, you'll know that you don't get this with it. What you do get is there's sort of like a small rectangle card thing that basically says Louis Vuitton on it, and that's all that you get. So this, if you see this on any photos and people are saying it's a real Louis Vuitton bag, it's not, because this only comes in fake. So before I do a comparison, I'm going to show you the quality of this bag, and I'm going to show you all of the areas so you can see exactly what it looks like. So this is what the front looks like. So like I mentioned, you have the normal monogram, then you have the flap on the top, you also have this little black piece of leather. I'm not sure if it's real leather, it probably isn't for the price, but you also get some black leather on there. Then also on the top you get black leather strap on there as well. So on there it should say Louis Vuitton Paris, and I've actually looked at some photos and videos of this bag, and this is actually very different to the original one. So with the original one, it's more shiny and it's more flat as well, so this one sort of sticks up a little bit, if you can see. The stitching is actually really good on this bag. I thought that it'd be really bad because I've seen some horror stories of people getting things from DHgate and they usually look really bad, but this to me looks really good. Now obviously you can see that the stitching isn't all there, especially on the back. So on the stitching where you have the zip, you can see that it's not all straight, which is what normal Louis Vuitton bags are. They're all completely straight, and the zip actually works as well. So the zip works really well, and it's quite a big pocket in there. So also on this, there isn't a date code. So if you have the original version of this, you'll have the date code, I believe, up the top where the flap is right there. And I actually felt around this and I couldn't feel anything sticking out, but it is a working pocket. The zip works really well as well. Also, there's another thing that a lot of fakes tend to do, and this one hasn't done it, which is really good. So a lot of fakes, they tend to have two pieces of fabric. So for instance, this is one piece of fabric. This actually looks exactly the same as the original, but some fakes I've seen have a piece of fabric that cuts off here and another one that starts here, and they have it where it's this way up, and then this side it's the right way up, if you know what I mean. So it's standing upwards, but this is actually supposed to be one piece of canvas. There's also a strap on here as well, and one side is good, the other side isn't. So this is what the strap looks like, and it does have the adjustable strap like the originals have. However, on the other side, the pattern isn't that good. So the pattern is correct on here, so that's what the pattern should look like. So this is the part of canvas that it comes off. The other side, however, isn't the same. So this is basically very lopsided on this side, but this side it works really well. This side very lopsided, but the stitching is actually really good on here. So it is a little bit crooked, but it's not super bad or anything like that. Then on the sides you do have the glazing as well. That is what it looks like. So the glazing actually looks pretty good. It doesn't look sloppy or anything like that. The only thing is it is very sticky on the sides, and I only noticed that about 2 days after getting the bag. I did actually message the seller, and the seller was really good and said that if you just put some alcohol on there then it should come off, but I am a bit wary about putting alcohol on this because obviously I don't really know what the material actually is that was used. And then on the sides you do have Louis Vuitton right there on the side pieces right there as well. So it does actually look pretty good for a strap. Like I mentioned, this side looks really good, this side is not good, and it is a little bit sticky, but it does feel pretty good. And if I was to wear this out, I would probably just change out the strap. I'd probably just put on my real Louis Vuitton strap, because then I just feel like it would feel a little bit better, because on this little toggle thing here, it does feel quite loose. So that is what the end parts look like. So it does also say Louis Vuitton on there. So this is what the sides look like. So you have the reverse on here, the normal monogram, and then on this side you have the reverse as well, which is what is on the normal bag. So that is what that looks like. Also, if I zoom in as well, you can see that right on here it should say Louis Vuitton on there. It does look slightly off. That's what the bottom looks like as well. So that is exactly the same as the original bottom from the photos that I've seen, and then again on the other side as well. So that's what it looks like. And the glazing, like I mentioned, seems really good. On the bag, the glazing isn't sticky. It just seems to be on the strap that is sticky. So that's something that isn't too bad for me, because it's just the strap that's sticky, not the actual bag. And again, you'll notice that on the bottom here, the stitching isn't completely straight. Now the colour match is pretty good for the stitching and the colour of the canvas. And then if you want to open it up, it's really easy to do. You just clip these two, and then it opens up here. So you have the insert right here, then you also have the ending of the canvas here. So like I mentioned, I don't have the original bag, so I'm not too sure if this is the same type of material or the same feeling of material as in the original one. I can just go off of the ones that I already own. And this is what it looks like when you go into it. So I'm hoping that you can see, but because it is black lining, it is quite hard for you to see. So you do have a big pocket right here, then the main pocket here, and then a smaller pocket right there. So that's what the badge looks like. So on the original one it is black, but the writing in it is actually gold. So this is another giveaway if you're looking at these types of bags. This one should have gold writing in it, but it looks pretty good and it feels like really good material as well. But this, like I mentioned, is what the bag looks like. So you have the front pouch, the main big pouch, and then a smaller pouch right there. And there is one thing that I noticed that is different to the original one. So if you look on the back right here, so you have the bottom of the LVs and you have the stitching. On the original one, you actually have the bottom of the LV, which starts probably about here, then you have a gap, then you have the stitching. And then if you can see on here, there's a little bit of, I'm not too sure what it is. It just looks like that the canvas has just come off right here. And then I think, yeah, it's also on the other side as well. So that is what those two bits look like. But to be honest, this is on the back of the bag, so I'm not too worried. On the front, it doesn't look like that there's any issues or anything at all. The canvas looks pretty good. I don't think there's any scratches. There's not really anything, to be honest. There's not actually any loose threads, which is pretty good. Another thing that I've noticed is with this flat bit right here, so it doesn't look completely straight how it should do. So it should basically go up like an arrowhead, but they're not exactly straight. But to be honest, that's only the underside of this. From the top side, you can't really see a difference or anything like that. So I'm also going to zoom in on the front bit so you can see what that looks like as well. So on there, it just says Louis Vuitton Paris, has LV on there, and also has the little flap on there as well. I think the quality seems to be really good. It feels really nice and soft inside. It does actually feel quite robust as well. So even by holding it like this, I don't feel like that this is going to slip out. So even the stitching on the top handle is really good as well. So that is what it looks like. And the first thing that I actually checked when I got this bag was to see if the pattern lines up. So it does line up really well. So you have the 3 LVs right there. You have the 6 sort of flowers at the top. Then you have the 5 full and then the 2 halves at the top right here. However, 2 halves at the side, they should pretty much be halves, and they're a little bit bigger than that, so it leads me to think that this pattern is probably not the correct size. But I will also compare it to a real one so you can see what that looks like. Also right here on the corner, I don't know if this is like on the original, but it's not completely round right there. So now that I've shown you this bag, I'm going to go ahead and show you some comparisons on this bag compared to my original Louis Vuittons. The first thing that I'm going to compare is the strap, and I'm going to compare this to the strap that I got with my Speedy Bandolier. And I feel like this is a really good thing because you can see the thickness of it and things like that. The Speedy Bandolier one is leather, so it's not going to be the same thickness, but I'm going to compare the width to it because I believe that all of the straps are pretty much the same size. So this is the leather one that I have with my Speedy Bandolier, and this one is the one from the fake bag. So as you can see, it is a lot thinner compared to the bandolier one. So I'll show you what they look like on top of each other. So this is what these straps look like compared to each other. So you can see that the leather one is quite a lot thicker compared to the canvas one. Now I know that these are pretty much exactly the same size for all of the straps, so I always go off of the leather one. So that is what the difference is, and that's what the thickness looks like compared to the leather one. So I don't know if the original one has the same thickness as the leather one, but I have seen that people have been saying that some of them are thicker than other ones, so that is what the difference looks like there. So that's what the difference with the buckles look like. So as you can see, the original one, it actually looks quite a lot smaller than the fake one. So it looks like you have quite a big gap on this one compared to this one, and this one is also matte and this one is shiny. Like I mentioned, I don't have the original pochette matisse, so I can't let you know if the original one looks exactly like this as well. And then on the sides as well, so this is something that I will have to look up on, but with the original one it doesn't say Louis Vuitton on the side, whereas with the fake one it does. With the fake one is way bigger than the real one, and it has Louis Vuitton on the side, but the real one doesn't. And then this is what the clips look like. So you can see that they are very similar. However, with the real one it is a lot more gold. With the fake one it's more of a silver gold or a fake gold. So this one is quite tough in there. This is the original, and then this one is the fake, and this one pretty much just goes everywhere, whereas this one will only move a certain amount. So you can see that there's a very big difference between the two. And then you also have the Louis Vuitton on there as well. So you can see that with the fake one it looks like Louis Vuitton is very, very close together, the two different words. And then with the original it's quite far apart. And I'll also show you the glazing as well, because on the original one it's really nice and sleek, and then on this one it just looks quite thick. So this is what the glazing looks like. So the original is on the top and the fake one's on the bottom. So you can see that with the real one it is really nice and sleek and it is just really smooth, and then on the fake one it is quite ridged as well. But to be honest, if you don't have an original Louis Vuitton bag then you probably wouldn't know any difference with the glazing, but it's just something that I notice on there because I'm looking at every single detail on this bag. And now I'm going to compare the bags. So I'm going to show you this one compared to my original one, which is my pochette accessories, and this is what it looks like. So I absolutely love this bag. This is the only Louis Vuitton bag that I have that is a monogram print, because the other ones are the demi bean, which is the checkered pattern, because I don't really want to have to worry about the leather and things like that. So I tend to have all of my purses be the monogram and then all of my bags being the other one. So this is what this looks like. So I'm going to compare the canvas so you can see the difference in the colour, because this is slightly different. I couldn't really tell that there was any difference with the monogram on this bag when I got it, but when I compared it to my original one then you can see that there is a difference on there. So this bag I use a lot, I absolutely love it, and this is my go-to Louis Vuitton bag if I don't want to take a lot of stuff with me, because my other two are massive. I have the Speedy Bandolier 30, I have the Neverfull GM, which is the biggest one, and then I have this small one right here. So I am loving my smaller bags. I also have a strap on here that I got from eBay, so this isn't an original Louis Vuitton. I think this is probably about £10 for the strap, and it's really, really good and very sturdy as well. So now I'm going to compare the monogram. So first thing I'm going to show you is the colour. So as you can see, the original one, which is right here, it actually looks quite a lot lighter than the fake one. So we'll put them together so you can see. So yeah, the original one is at the front and then the fake one is at the back, so you can see that there is quite a bit of difference with the shade on there, but to be honest I wouldn't really know unless I'd put them both together. So with the monogram you can see that the original one, which is right here, it is actually a little bit bigger than the fake one, and I didn't actually notice that. So that is what the difference looks like in here. So that is what the difference in size and colour looks like. So to be honest, if you didn't have an original Louis Vuitton bag, you would have absolutely no idea the difference in the colour and the size, because it is very close. Like I mentioned, there is only a smidge off with the size. With the colour compared to the original one, you can see there is quite a lot off, but like I mentioned, if you don't have the original one then you would have absolutely no idea. And I'll also show you what the difference in the D-rings is as well. So as you can see with the D-rings, they are very different. So this one is very, very thick, and this one is very thin. So I don't know if the original one has the same size for the pochette matisse, but with the accessories you can see that there is a very big difference in there. And with the thickness of the canvas, I can feel that they've already put something in here. So you have the canvas, then you have the inner lining right here. There seems to be something quite thick. Feels like it might be cardboard, but there is something right there that's making it thicker. So I feel like that they have sort of stuffed it to make it seem a little bit thicker. With the original one, it is a little bit thinner, but you can just tell that it's just canvas, and then it's a bit of lining right there. So you can see that it is quite thin. but there's no padding in there, so you've got nothing in the middle. Whereas in here, I'm hoping you can see, but like I mentioned, it's very, very dark. It is quite thick, but it feels like there is some cardboard right there, because towards the end, it's not really there, but right at the front, it feels really thick. Now I feel like that's so it can keep its shape and so it feels thicker and it lasts a bit longer. And I'm just going to look at the canvas on the bottom as well. So I have the real one on the top and the fake one on the bottom. So it does look pretty similar on there. That's what the bottom looks like. So they got the pattern correct, which is really good. And yeah, it looks pretty much exactly the same, just like I mentioned, slightly different in the colour. And then the canvas on this as well, this looks a little bit more pebbled compared to the original as well. So if you can see, there is a difference in the texture of the canvas as well. So that's all the comparisons done, and overall I think this bag is pretty good for 50 quid. I feel like I did really well on it. I feel like that it is pretty good quality. Now there are a couple of things that are a little bit wrong. So for instance, with the stitching, it's not as straight as you'd like it. I mean, it is straight lines, but it sort of isn't straight down, as you can see right there. So it is a straight line, but it's not straight down. It's sort of a little bit skew right there. The colour of the monogram is darker than the original, and the size of the monogram is a little bit smaller compared to the original as well. But to be honest, you probably wouldn't know that if you didn't have an original Louis Vuitton bag. Also, the texture is slightly different as well, but to be honest, from far away, you can't even tell a difference. It pretty much looks exactly the same in the texture. This flap, like I mentioned, is a little bit bigger than the original one because it should probably come up to about here. And with the top bit on here, it's not the same leather look as well. So with the original one, it is very smooth. With this one, it is very wrinkled. And with the back here, with the original, there is a gap between the stitching and the bottom. Also with the strap, I'm not the happiest with it. I mean, it probably won't break if I went out with it the first time, but for me, I do feel like that it's not really the best with this strap. I feel like that I would just put on a different strap. Like I mentioned with the other bag that I showed you in this video, the strap I got is from eBay. It cost me about £10, and that is a really thick chain and it works really well, and I've worn that bag so many times and I haven't had an issue with it. So I know that you can do it really good on a budget, and this strap just, I don't know, it's not the best, but it is pretty good, and like I mentioned, I only paid £50 for it. So overall, I feel like they did really good with this bag. I feel like it's really good for the 50 quid that I paid for it. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall apart or anything like that. It feels like it's really good quality, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm actually going to wear this out, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to know there is a fake Louis Vuitton bag, because like I mentioned, there's only minor things to it that you really have to know this bag or really have to know Louis Vuitton to actually have an eye to know that this is fake. So I feel like I did really well. If you are going to be purchasing the bag, just keep in mind that the strap's probably not going to be the best thing. Like I mentioned, I am going to have to use a different strap if I was to use this bag, because I feel like it's probably not the best quality and it doesn't really look real, to be honest. There are quite a lot of differences compared to this strap and the original strap, so just bear that in mind, that you probably just need to buy a different strap or you need to use a different strap with it, because it might break and it doesn't seem like the best quality for the strap. So with the quality of this bag, I don't feel like it's better than Zara bags. I feel like the Zara bags are really, really good. With River Island, some of the bags are not the best quality, and I actually feel like this bag is much better quality than some of the bags that I purchased from there. So I do actually like it, and I do feel like it is worth the money. And if you do want a replica or a fake version of this bag, then I recommend getting this one, because I feel like it has done pretty good. But I will always tell you guys to try and find something that's very similar on the high street, because I always feel like their quality is so good, and at least when you get it from a high street store, you can keep the receipt and you can take it back if it breaks. With this, you can't return it if it breaks. So that's something to definitely bear in mind if you get a replica or a fake bag. But I do like it. I feel like I've done really well on this, and I'm shocked with how good the quality is. So if you do want to purchase this bag, just send me a message on Instagram and I'll let you know who the seller is that I got it from. I can't put links in this video because YouTube do tend to take videos off that do have links. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If there's any videos that you'd like me to do, just comment down below to let me know. And make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye!